Hey guys, thanks for stopping by the channel again. Behind me is the coach house, and in today's video I'm going to give you the before and after of the last 4 months renovating it. Let's get into it.
Will young uniform minds and uniform lines and uniform ties run round with trousers on fire and signs of desire they cannot disguise? Whilst I try to find words as light as the birds that circle above, composing the songs of love.
The last time you saw this shot was from our original tour video. If you haven't seen that already, go check it out. This on the right here is the coach house, which was built 12 years ago. It was actually built for the previous owner's wife who had MS. And you'll see here that many years of not being used has done quite a bit of water damage to the building itself. There's black mold all over it, walls, ceiling, doors, and the leak is just above this window here. So we took off some of the kingspan and started trying to root out the cause of the problem. By all the doors, it was just covered in mold. The doors themselves pretty badly warped. They don't really close, and yeah, so a lot of drying out to do in this building. Almost everywhere you turn. So we got the dehumidifier going, pretty much non-stop, and the amount of water coming out of it was crazy. We also lit the fire, which is a beautiful stove in that building now, and that really started to help. We got our mold and mildew blaster, which worked really well, and slowly started to remove all of the mold from the walls, the skirting boards, the doors, and as you can see here, it was a pretty slow process to get this amount of mold off the doors. It was the same throughout the whole building. We had to remove mold from all of the doors like this, and so just slowly with that mold and mildew blaster, we just took down the mold and did a bit of work on the doors themselves. There was some nice bottles left behind, some expensive bottles, and you'll see why they come in useful later. And then into the kitchen area, which I showed you before, an empty shell, also quite a bit of mold in here, you'll see in the top right. And yeah, so we essentially had to just make sure that everything was in working order. There is underfloor heating in this building, so we got that working with the help of a local plumber, and then got to cleaning this room as well. From there, we started with painting. So once all the mold was gone, we had a nice blank canvas to start painting, and we got to work on that. Tom and I doing the walls, and Ryan masterfully cutting in. We then started to tackle the root cause of the damp. So we took down all of the kingspan and started to assess the situation. And when on rainy days, it was actually dripping through here, so it was pretty bad. So we cleared out all of the bits and pieces, getting a good surface ready to put new insulation, new kingspan in, and that's what Tom's doing here. It was crucial to stop water getting in, because we didn't want to start painting or really doing anything in this room until that was completely sorted. So we had a look on the sill above, and it was kind of just filled with like a putty, and all of that had kind of rotted away, and so we'd sort of found the root cause of the problem. The sill was also at an angle, so we had to get up there with the scaffold and start to kind of try and create a good surface where we can add some lead flashing. And so yeah, Ryan just started grinding off a little bit of that top capstone there to create a space to fit the flashing underneath the metal bit that you see there underneath the door, to just stop any moisture getting back into the building. So yeah, well, that was underway. Lots started happening inside. We had some dry days, so there was no water coming through, and we got to, properly sorting out the insulation and damp-proof membrane on that inside of the doorway. And we gave it a quick skim coat, and it was well on its way to being back in working order. So with some very good quality paint, very expensive paint, we started cracking on with the rest of the house with help from some friends. And again, just painting a nice white colour across everything just to give us a blank canvas. Alicia started putting together some furniture with the help of Danu. Great helper, I might add. And we just went for very simple, kind of quaint furniture to add to the bedrooms. So after we'd finished cutting in, we took all the tape down off the windows. Super satisfying. And Rian and I cracked on and did some late hours to get all of the upstairs bedrooms finished, of which there are 3 upstairs and 1 downstairs. One is a twin, and then there's 3 doubles. After cleaning the mould off the doors, we painted those and just got these rooms really back to life again. We went through a lot more paint than I would have imagined. So this is, I suppose, always the case. You're expecting you'll get it done with 1 or 2, but that's not the case. So downstairs then we got the carcasses for the new kitchen/bar, and we put those together and started trying to kind of lay out what way we'd like this room to function. Originally it was going to be this U shape, but you'll see later on we dropped the island, if you like, on the left, just to kind of give more of an open space and not to use up too much with countertops. Danu and I having a bit of fun with the camera.
There's not much light here, but she's very cute.
And the place kind of became a bit of a work site, and it was a lot of momentum, and mostly we got IKEA furniture for just the basics, so for lighting and seating. Where possible we used what we had, like that beautiful dresser on the left that you see there. Bunch of tools needed for this one, and those were brought to us by a very close friend of ours, Eric, who just so happened to have a very special item sitting in his shed for the last couple of years, which he brought over. It's a confessional box that used to be in the original Galway Cathedral, and at first I thought he was joking when he mentioned this, but he kind of had a genius idea, which was we wanted to achieve a kind of a bar kitchen look, and this amazing pitch pine, beautifully crafted stuff just so happened to kind of be that perfect material and perfect, way to reclaim a material and do something new with it. So in this next section, I'll show you how we turned a confession box into a bar/kitchen.
Like the pine trees lining the winding road, I've got a name, I've got a name. Like the singing bird and the croaking toad, I've got a name, I've got a name. And I carry it with me like my daddy did, but I'm living the dream that he kept here. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Like a north wind whistling down the sky, I've got a song, I've got a song. Like the whippoorwill and the babies cry, I've got a song, I've got a song. And I carry it with me and I sing it loud. If it gets me nowhere, I go there proud. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Minds, but they can't change me. I've got a dream, I've got a dream. Oh, I know I could share it if you want me to. If you're going my way, I'll go with you. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by.
Give me a fucking phone. Yo, mate.
So yeah, as you can probably tell, we had a lot of fun with that one. So it was a case now of just finishing off the countertops, getting all the appliances in, and it really started to take shape at this point. Beautiful larch countertops, which again Eric had sitting seasoning in his shed for quite some time. We had a little bit more work to do just on the bar countertop, which is going to sit on the outside bit there. So just cleaning that up and getting the skirting boards ready, and all of kind of just the finishing touches to bring this kitchen bar to life. So yeah, using a sort of handmade apparatus here, we just took a bevel off the edge, so you've got a nice surface to lean your elbows on when you're standing or sitting up to the bar, and really started to come together. We then just measured out some points on the top of kind of the bar support, made sure there was space for all the electrics to go in, and then lined up some screws and Tech 7 on that top surface with the underside surface of the bar countertop itself. And that's what we're doing here, just getting those all ready so that we can then put the bar on top. Simple solution here, as you can tell, but this is honestly going to be more than enough to hold the bar up, especially because there's so many fixing points, and once the Tech 7 goes off, that should all be groovy. So this isn't your pixel perfect project that we've done here. It's got character and it's using old materials, and that's exactly how we wanted it. So we lifted up the bar, and moment of truth, got it to line up with all of the holes, which it did pretty well to our surprise. Down she goes. And yeah, of course, it went in pretty much first time, albeit needed a little bit of shoving, sitting, and crawling, as you'll see Tom do in a minute. But yeah, it really started to give you an idea of the space and how it's going to come together. As I said, a little bit of a gap there, which we just put some compression on, and that worked perfectly. Only one way to do this.
No, it's only going down. Okay, well then we get some weight on that
I swear we're professionals. And then, yeah, we made sure it was nice and level, which it was. And just propped it up using the ceiling to let that dry for a couple of days and let the Tech 7 go off. And as you can see, it started to look good. We then just finished off the skirting boards and started staining this beautiful pitch pine with Zinsser after giving it a good sand, and it just popped. My mom here, Linda, taking the time to go around all of those handcrafted areas on the confession box and just bringing it back to life and letting the materials really sing here. It's going to be really kind of the centerpiece of the room, so we wanted to give it as much treatment as we could and just make sure that it gave it a new lease of life and respected the craftsmanship that went into the original making of it. And just look at the results. Incredible. We were so happy with this. The contrast of the color with the larch, I think, was something that we weren't 100% sure on, but I think in the end we're very, very happy with the result. And particularly once we gave the larch a bit of treatment as well, that really started to bring things together. And you'll see us doing that here, where we're just giving it that final coat that it needs. And this really just makes the two materials dance off each other, the pitch pine and the larch. Myself, John, Rian and Tom here just doing that last satisfying job of applying the Zinsser to the larch, and it just kind of eats it up, as it were. Probably needs another little sand and another couple of layers of this just to make it really kind of withstand the test of time, particularly if there is events running here and this is being used as a bar of some description. Then we want to make sure that the materials are all protected. But yeah, absolutely delighted with the result. And that's how you put a confession box into a kitchen/bar. So next then it was on to kind of clearing the main room, which had become a bit of a workshop. So one evening me and Leisha just got out there and got stuck in, cleaning the place, hanging out with Danu, drinking a pint of Guinness from a Murphy's glass. Sorry to everyone in Cork, but it's got to be done. Danu looking intrigued. Fire going, keep the place nice and warm. And we started building some of the furniture which we'd gotten delivered a few days before that. Nice solid wood table. Want this to be a space where people can gather around and just enjoy each other's company. Some kind of durable, functional, stylish enough chairs just to kind of contrast with the old aspect of the building. Obviously, like I said in the previous video, the main house will be kept strictly Georgian, or as strict as we can afford. But over here, it's going to be a little bit more creature comforts and a little bit more modern, and kind of just playing off the old and the new between some of the original pieces that we've brought into there, some original artwork and stuff. Here I'm just taking those bottles that you just saw earlier and putting them into their resting place on the bar. And yeah, a few hours later and the place is starting to come together. A bit more cleaning in the bar area.
Just one little patch of ground over and over, yeah.
And it really started to you could start to see it now, the vision of what we had in mind coming together and starting to look amazing. Then it was on to just putting the rest of the furniture together, and so my mom and Leisha and I got cracked on with that. We got kind of a nice sort of tan leatherette couch, again from IKEA, but yeah, it was kind of what we had the budget for, and also just important with this building that it's kind of up and running as fast as possible, because we do need to kind of make an income to continue to sustain this place.
And then do these come
And
off?
so getting up on Airbnb and Booking.com was kind of paramount, which is why we chose this route with the coach house. The main house will be, much more of a drawn out process, and carefully selecting items and so on. But yeah, it was we were delighted with this furniture, and of course, once you build a piece of furniture, there's only one thing to do next.
Wow. Go on then, have a seat. Oh, what's...
Danu wasn't so happy about it though. Not sure why. Is it the colour maybe? Not sure.
You're not too chuffed with these chairs, no? Oh, wait, no.
Right, and then a couple of days later, Paula Gannon, who works for us at my company Craft, is an amazing interior designer as well, and she came round
Still there.
to help us bring the last of it together. And so my mom, herself, Tom, and I, and Leisha, and the whole gang actually, just pulled together and put the finishing touches on the place, and you can really start to see it coming together now with just some of the final accessories and stuff. The bar itself looking great. We just hung some photos and stuff in there, and I'll show you shortly what we did with the walls as well. We added some bar memorabilia and whatnot to it. And there you have it. There's the front room that you saw at the beginning of this video. Almost done. Still had to hang the photos. But yeah, an incredible space. Really functional, really usable, really simple as well for the rental. Like there's not going to be tons of work to turn it round. Nice area for dining. Cozy up by the fire, play a game of chess or a board game or read a book. And yeah, we're on Airbnb and we're open for business. If you want to come stay with us, do. And as I said in the last video, if you're ever wanting to do woofing or a workaway, then you're welcome to get in touch and come stay with us in return for experience. Here are a couple of the bedrooms. This is the north bedroom. One you just saw was the middle bedroom. And yeah, again, they're nice, simple, functional, comfortable. And here's some of the repro bar memorabilia we got at one of the auctions, which we're just sieving through. Gave some to Tim, our local publican, and put the rest up. And here you have our bar, which has some of the New Year's party remnants in it. But yeah, as I said in that first video, guys, we wanted to kind of create something that, you could cook a full meal in comfortably, but that if people want to host events, that there's kind of that dual function of it where it will serve as a kitchen and a bar. All of the memorabilia looking great on the walls. Put a nice mirror up that we got at one of the auctions. And yeah, there you have the bar at Ballinderry. And as I said, if there's events on, you could have that door open and people coming in and out, grabbing a drink, grabbing a snack or whatever it might be when the weather allows for it. Cast iron head of my dad there looking over the bar. And yeah, we also put up these photos that we got at the auction. We want to get more stuff in there, maybe a rugby jersey or two and some flags, but we're going to try not to go too over the top. And all this came together just in time for our New Year's party. We'll see you in the next video.
Just gonna all right, so okay, so that was not the story. That was just me kind of just setting the tone. Years ago, when I get the sick and afflicted.